Hey Guardians, Dr. Slev here. I want to take a couple minutes and go over the two new weapons introduced in the first Iron Banner of the Witch Queen. Are they worth it? Should you keep your eye out for them? And what are some good rolls going to look like? Well, first things first, we have a brand new hand cannon called Frontier's Cry. It is a 180 rounds per minute solar energy hand cannon. That's really it. Being a 180, it's not going to see a lot of use, I don't think, at least in PvP, but it does have some decent rolls that it can get. And I did run around with it in Psyops for a little bit for PvE, and it is actually a pretty fun gun to use. I just don't think it's game changing. I don't see it really breaking into the meta, but if you like 180s, this might be something to look at. I went to light.gg to look at the stats here on Frontier's Cry, and as you can tell, it does a decent amount of damage for a 180, 78 default impact. Range is a little lackluster on it, but it's nothing that's crazy compared to other 180s. Stability, handling, reload speed, all fairly unremarkable. Decent aim assistance, but nothing crazy. The recoil pattern on it is pretty nice. It's almost a vertical recoil, which is really nice. So it'll make it very easy to hit those follow-up shots, and it's a 180, so there hardly is any recoil at all. Actually, using this gun in PvE, it felt kind of the equivalent of shooting like a pellet gun or even an airsoft gun. There was just really very, very little bounce to the gun after each shot. So scroll down, let's look at the rolls that you could possibly get from this. You all have all your standard barrel rolls, nothing new and exciting there. Most of your standard magazine rolls, Accurize for the extra range, your tactical mags for your quick reload, stuff like that. That'll be good in PvE. So the best third column trait for this gun is probably going to be rapid hit, which gains you increased stability and reload speed based on each precision hit. So the more precision hits you do, the faster you reload and the more stable the gun gets, up to a 5 stack. Also does roll with stats for all, compulsive reloader, steady hands, and tunnel vision. All right, fourth column perks. It does roll with Adagio, which is okay, not incredible, doesn't really synergize with any of the other perks super well. So kind of a pass on that one on me. There's an interesting perk called Iron Reach on this one, which massively improves the range, but you lose a huge chunk of stability. So this might make the 180 feel more like a 140 or possibly even a 120 if you were to put this on, because that minus 27 stability is going to take us down from a 63 all the way down to 36. That's a pretty large chunk off of stability there for an increase in range that probably isn't going to matter a huge amount. If we apply Iron Reach to one of the perks here, you can see that our ADS goes from about 28.3 meters up to 30.71. So that's not a huge increase. That's about a little over 1.5 meters, right? So that's 1.5 in-game steps basically. So not a huge benefit for that trade-off, but it is kind of an interesting perk that possibly be good on other weapons. Moving on, we have Iron Grip, which improves stability at reload, cost of reload speed. Again, not really needed on a 180. Stability is pretty much already there. You do have One for All, which is the drop that I ran on mine, which is good for PvE again, because it has a large magazine, so you can hit a lot of different enemies and then kind of move on. It does roll with Kill Clip though, and Eye of the Storm. Those are probably two of the most interesting in this for me. Kill Clip is always a good perk to have. Reloading after a kill will just give you more damage. Never anything wrong with that, especially combine that with rapid hit, so you get those faster reloads, get a kill, get the quick reload, do more damage on your next shots. Eye of the Storm is really good for dueling, mainly in PvP. I don't see this gun as a PvP weapon, but it is interesting that it does drop with Eye of the Storm. So if you really like 180 hand cannons in PvP for whatever reason, this is one that you should definitely look at. And the new trait dropping on Iron Banner weapons is kind of their origin trait, and it is called Skulking Wolf. During the hunt, final blows with this weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from opposing radar. So that is a trait that will only be on the Iron Banner weapons and will only actually work in Iron Banner. If you don't know what the hunt is, basically if you capture all 3 zones on your team, then it locks the zones and you hunt everybody for bonus points, and it kind of locks their score as well. So this gives you a great advantage for that. Worth having on a gun that you run outside of the Iron Banner. Pretty much worthless there. So kind of an interesting choice to have that origin trait, but it might be good to hang on to those weapons that drop with it, just for when Iron Banner comes back around. Moving on to the next weapon. The next weapon is a sword called Razor's Edge. Now I wasn't actually able to get a drop of one of these, so we're just gonna have to go off the stats on light.gg here. It does look really cool. I don't think, just kind of like the hand cannon, that it's really gonna change much. It's a cool looking weapon. don't see it getting much use. It doesn't have eager edge. It doesn't compare to some of the swords that dropped in the last couple seasons. It definitely doesn't compare to a lot of the exotic swords. So use it if you like it. It is cool looking. It is a vortex frame, so the heavy attack will launch a heavy spin, and heavy attacks are stronger if it has full energy. Swing speed about 46, impact 60, guard resistance 60, charge rate 32, ammo capacity 59. Pretty standard stuff for the swords. Nothing crazy there. Let's drop down to what rolls you can get. You have all your basic blades, hungry, enduring, honed, jagged, and tempered, and all your basic sword guards as well. So let's talk about the perk columns 3 and 4. 3, not really much going on here. Your standard relentless strikes, tireless blade, those are the 2 that you're probably going to be looking for as they regenerate you some ammo on use. Perk column 4, however, does have a couple interesting rolls. It does drop with Frenzy. You also have Assassin's Blade, which gives you the same 50% damage buff as Frenzy, but it does it after a kill and it lasts for 5 seconds. However, that leaves out the best trait, I think, on this one, and that is Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction, each final blow with this weapon creates an elemental damage explosion. This is great for small ad clear or doing a little bit of splash damage to majors and even bosses. Probably the best perk that you can get on here. Combine that with either Tireless Edge or Relentless Strikes, the guard of your choice and the blade of your choice, and you have a decent sword for PvE content. It's, like I said, it's not really going to change the meta, I don't think. Eager Edge is still going to be out there, and in my opinion, any sword without Eager Edge is not a sword worth using because it is just too much damn fun. Razor's Edge also does drop with the Skulking Wolf origin trait. I don't see a lot of people using this in Iron Banner personally, but that option is there if you're really big into swords. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Those are the 2 new weapons in Iron Banner. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments down below. I gotta say, personally, a little bit disappointed. Nothing in here that was too impressive in my opinion. There are some decent rolls that you could get with these 2 weapons. Nothing that I think is really going to be super prevalent. I'd be surprised to see these weapons, especially in PvP at all. But they do look cool. They're well designed, and like I said earlier, the Frontier's Cry actually is pretty fun to use in PvE content and does decent damage as well. So tell me what you think about them, guys. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can always catch me live on Twitch every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday at twitch.tv/DrSlev. Thanks, guys, again. Be good to yourselves, and I will see you next time.